Hey, what's up, guys? Good evening, my time. Hopefully, everyone is doing okay and you had a restful weekend. So today, is our second edition of Market Weekly Outlook. Yup, we started the first episode last week. Sorry, second episode, not edition, second episode. I kicked off the first episode last week, Sunday, and I dropped it right here on the channel. And every single analysis was a banger. It was a banger. This is not even a matter of capping. You can go there on the channel and check for yourself. Every single expectation played out from DXY to GBPUSD to Euro USD and many other currency pairs, like foreign currency pairs. They all played out accordingly, yeah, based on expectations. So this week would within nothing really different, right? Just based on the same logic we used in analyzing, all of the setups last week, all the assets, the major assets basically, GBPUSD, USD JPY, yeah, Euro USD, and I think AUD is as well. That should also be part of the pairs we'll be analyzing for today because I'm seeing some possible chances of trading that pair this week. So without wasting time, let's get right into it. So as you can see apparently from the weekly time frame, I'm just going to walk you through what I said last week for those of you who are just watching. So I mentioned that price pushed this low here, and this is our external high, this is our external low, right? This external low here was pushed, this is an external high, yeah, that price seems to be gravitating towards right now. So this is our buy side liquidity from UK time frame, and um, as you can see, I think we have crossed 50% of this range. We've closed above 50% of this range, yeah, which is a very strong indication, just like I said last week, that once price closes above 50% of this week here, which is they call it consequent encroachment, yeah, in ICT, yeah, but that does not really matter. What it means is that 50% of this range is a major responsive point, sorry, reactive point to price, right? So if he fails to sell and break structure from that zone, they might just continue to push to take out the eye, which I feel like from this momentum is about to happen. Yeah, most likely this coming week. But we never can tell, right? So from this time frame, we can also see that we have an order flow established, bullish order flow. Price came back, boom. And I explained every single thing here last week, so I don't want to waste too much time on this anymore. So what I'm looking into the week is a possible retracement, right, back into the range. Apparently, price closed above this time, which is a very clean grip of structure. So let's just drop down to the daily time frame and other lower time frames to see what we have on the week. So this is our daily time frame. Apparently, price has been respecting our bullish reference points from this zone here. The moment it tagged this recent low here, sorry, this low here, tagged him, tagged it, changed structure almost immediately, right? It has been respecting the bullish reference points as at discount zones. Same thing happened here, basically respected the police reference point, respected. So this was our last week's price action before this move, right? I think around here, I explained how I was expecting price to come down in here, to close above this high, but first to come in here and respect this zone here. And that exactly happened. You can see how price kept, you know, coming down, but failed to close within that gap. That is very algorithmic. It's telling you just one thing, unwillingness to want to push to the downside. So did that a couple of times, and low of the week got created, I think, on Tuesday, and then boom, on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we add the bullish move. Yeah, I joined this move, of course, and I also shared with you. You can also see the result there in my channel. All right, so going into the week, what am I expecting? And if you can also see clearly, we have closed out on this entire range. So the price is just basically very, very unfair to the sellers right now. So this is a bearish reference point that I believe price should hold if he was going to sell, right? If he was going to sell, price should not invalidate this reference point. But apparently it did, unfortunately, right? So going into the week, what am I expecting? I don't know if price would be willing to come all the way down, to fill this gap here, but I think that should be a very logical place to expect price to trade back into, right? Before the continuation move. Okay. I don't know, possibly on Tuesday, but let's see how that goes. Yeah. let's see how that goes. And coupled with the fact that we have all of this one, two, three, right? Down close counters. So that's your what's your order block. So the price might just want to trade down as far as coming down here before pushing back down. Yeah, I like to see that happen here for a couple of reasons. Yeah, and which of course I'm going to show you on EU and GU. Yeah, right. After now. So one, two, three, three down close candles, boom. Expect price to come down to, which is also in confluence. Yeah. So I didn't just pick it randomly. There's a reason for picking it. And that's because I noticed that it's also in confluence with this buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency on a daily time frame. So let's just drop down to a weekly time, 4 hours. That should be the last lower time frame that I'll be dropping down to before we move to GBPUSD and other foreign currencies. So yeah, why did I remove this? Let me take it out. I'm not so sure if price would be willing to come down. If it doesn't, then of course it gives it um it, it gives us a, a better sense of um trust or confidence that price would reach out for this price liquidity sooner than expected. Okay, so price traded back. This is we also have all of these consecutive candles, right? So opening price, right? Price traded back into. So that's just basically how order flow works. So if you're very bullish, price will not disrespect or violate any of the reference points, right? If you're bullish, price should not violate any of the reference points. The moment price closed above the opening price, I think okay, nearly close above this item, which is fine, but all you need is for price to close above this one, the opening price of this one, and preferably close above the overall high, then expect a retrace back into that range and boom. So going into the week on this daily time frame, like I always say, market is king. Past results don't guarantee future what future results. Past wins don't guarantee future results. So market is king, and I always um try as much as possible to respond or react to whatever price gives on Tuesday, preferably. Like I always say, I do not like to trade on Mondays. Yeah, and I'm going to share a video on how to trade weekly profile. I think on Tuesday, on Wednesday latest. So you might just want to stick around, ensure that you subscribe to the channel and you also turn on post notifications. Right. So let's go to our 4 hours so we can see what we have here. And yeah, I think it makes a lot of sense to just wait for price to come a little bit down, right? Remember, this is our daily time frame. Behavior look up. Let me use this. Let me use this here. I'm taking this off. I don't like it when I see too many lines on my charts. I mean, you already understand exactly what happened there. So this basically looks like a flip zone anyway. Yeah, for those of you who trade flip zones, looks like a flip zone. We had a supply zone here. The price reacted off from. Boom. Right. So price reacted off a supply rate, and from the reaction it bounced off from the what's from this other block we have around here and broke structure bump. So we might want to see this one as an internal low. This low here as an internal range liquidity. All right. And the flip zone is just this last, sorry, from the point of reaction up until this low here, but I like to pick the opening price, right? And if you also remember, this line here is in confluence. This line rather is the line I delineated from the daily time. No, was it for the daily time frame or yeah, daily time frame other block? Can you see that? So everything just basically aligns for the buys, right? So it is an area, not a point. Okay, an area is just where you have like so many things happening or you know overlapping, yeah, in favor of either the buyers or sellers. So anywhere from below this low A, you could expect your buys. But I like to see that happen anywhere inside this zone here, right? I like to see that happen here, preferably on Tuesday. So this was this okay, this is Thursday's low, I guess. I think that's Thursday's low. Was it Thursday's low? Well, that's not Thursday's low. Yeah, I'd like to just see this happen when price comes to take this and probably just give us the low of the week on Tuesday and Wednesday. Then we can continue to buy to this. All right. So I don't expect price to just keep on going up and up. It can happen, right? But there's no way I'm going to jump on buys here or sell GU or EU from anywhere around here. Nah, it's not going to happen unless I say something that makes me want to do so. But from what I see currently, I don't want to do that. Do not. So yeah, internal liquidity, I want price to drop down. Yeah, drop down, drop down. I don't think I'll be selling, right? Yeah, boom. To the upside, or overall, I'm bullish. Okay. So that's the summary of all of my gappings, so to speak, the old time. So yeah, opening price of this what of these two down close candles. So this two, yeah, that's your other block. And this is the point of invalidation. Or maybe this point, but I don't want to see price go below this low here. Right? The high of the reaction and low of the reaction. This is the highest point of the reaction. Reaction is from where what we have a supply zone here. Okay, so this is like a flip zone, right? Flip zone because of so many reasons. But I'm not here to go into all of those stuff. This is just a market outlook session. So this is exclusively based on what my expectations are for the week. So easy, nothing much. And I think we just need to move to the GBPUSD or Euro USD right after. Sorry. Because it's positively correlated. They are sorry, negatively correlated, or whatever I choose to call it. So from last week, apparently, so the expectation was to also see GBP USD and Euro USD drop down because we were expecting DXY to push up. And if you remember, I explained how I was expecting price to gravitate towards this what relative equal lows. And it did beyond that. Also came down to take out this low here, apparently. Let me see if we can highlight that. But that was not really my target anyway. This was not really my target, right? This was my target because those lows were too clean. And I think somehow the lows got induced, or yeah, got induced on Tuesday, on Thursday. Price failed to take out these lows on Thursday, while GU had already taken his own. But late Friday, he couldn't give us the target this Friday setup, which is, of course, sometimes would not happen, right? For various reasons. So context is always very important. As much as your system works, it's very important to apply context every single time. So most of the major lows that I'm looking out for here, or I was looking out for rather, have been tagged, right? So I do not want to sell anymore as far as price is concerned right now. Yeah, until we have something more structural to work with. So let me just walk you through each four, then I'll tell you what I'm expecting going to do each on the reason. So I think this happened on Friday, and I pointed out this inversion. So this is an inversion fair value gap, right? Yeah, from this low here to this what to that. Sorry, from this high here to this low of the previous candle. So high of the previous candle here and low of the new candle after this massive bullish candle. All right. So for inversions, you expect price to tag certain quadrant levels. Okay. So if it does not tag your 50, or if it tags a 25% level and fails to hold, the next quadrant zone should be 50, then ultimately 75%. Right. If we are quite bearish, I usually do not expect price to go to fill it 100%. Right. So these are specific levels that are very algorithmic, and price would most likely react off them. Sometimes it will go up, come back down, react, up and down also. But majorly, expect price to give significant moves around those zones. So apparently price came to that 50%, right, of that inversion. I don't know. I think on Thursday, it came back down, did not close above it. Okay. So that in a way, I think I also mentioned in my free channel. So if you're not part of my free community, my Telegram community, you might just want to check the link in the description so you get daily updates from myself, right? And sometimes I drop signals for free. So you just want to click in the link in the description and join as soon as possible. So price traded back into the quadrant zone, right? After closing down. All right. So I had to mark out the zone, not because it's an inversion, but because price ultimately closed below the inversion. So that's all you want to see. Okay, this is supposed to be a bullish reference point that would sponsor, but I should have sponsored price to the upside if we were bullish. But unfortunately, price violated it by closing below it. So that is all you want to see. You don't want to buy this anymore. You don't want to say, oh, I have another block here, let me buy, which of course many people would have done. And I'm not surprised because most people just trade patterns instead of logic. they probably would have bought for you from that zone. Sometimes you're generous to see price retreat a little bit and probably you get a break even before price eventually comes, to stop you out or something. So it's just very basic concept that you should apply in your trading system if you want to improve. Yeah, tremendously. All right. So price did not close above it. And subsequently, you see our price kept on, dancing around 25%. Can you see this? Can you see this? One, two, three. You see our price kept dancing. Not even three, I think four. Yeah. Okay, this one did not entirely tag. Or perhaps let me adjust. Let's see if we can get something more precise around here. Okay, can you see our price just did not close above the 25%? So that's why I say sometimes you get price go above it and the next candle to come, do the same thing. But just notice certain patterns around the zone. So whatever candlestick reaction you see around there should tell you what price is likely going to do. So 25% price did not close above it. The first time, can you see that it did not close above it? Second time did not close. Third time did not even near it. Fourth time went and still came back down. Very easy. Why should you want to be selling this? And most of the time, when you're bearish and price starts to respect you 25%, then it is very, very, very clear that you're not going to really, really buy, right? You're not going to buy whatever um short-term move you have is just a minor pullback and price will ultimately take you out. So you should be very careful and observant of levels like that. The ultimately price tagged the sell side liquidity draw, which was this one, and ultimately the last one I marked out there on the time frame. Yeah, nothing much. Let's remember. I think I can't remember exactly where I marked out my zone A. That I was expecting price. Okay, I think I marked out. If I'm not wrong, I marked out this zone. Yeah, I think, yeah, I marked out this zone on the daily and I said, okay, we already have an order flow established. Look at this consecutive down close candle, up close candles. I think I also marked out this zone, yeah, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. But all I know is that I was bearish on Euro USD and I was bearish from somewhere around here. So I'm going to take this out now. Let me see if I can remember exactly where. I don't think I can remember, sorry. But I think it was from somewhere around here. From somewhere around here. I said I was expecting price to not close above somewhere. Maybe around here or thereabouts. I think yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, around here. Yeah, get the point. So other flow got created on each 4 time frame. We had like series of down close candles, right? Engulfing bullish candles, two bullish candles engulfed. Next one, two bullish candles engulfed. So that's your bearish order flow. You don't want to be buying this market, no matter the structure or the pattern you're citing or something. Yeah. Some will consider this as inducement, other block, break of structure, inducement, blah, blah, blah. And the change of character traders. No shade to anyone, but there. I feel like there's more to price action than all of these patterns that many smart money traders memorize. All right, so going into the week on Euro USD, what am I looking at? We still have a bearish order flow established. All right, so we might just want to see some kind of little retracement because we have like a complete sell circle right now, just like we already have a complete buy circle. Not complete yet on DXY, but on Euro more like we have like price, tagging this one. So apparently it has completed some kind of minor cycle. So we want to expect a retrace to the upside or retracement further to the upside. A possible sub continuation. So what am I looking at for possible the sell zone? So we still have the other flow here, still existing, right? Still in existence. All of these up close candles, one, two, three, four, they are all what? You mark them out. I mark out the opening price because that's like the most sensitive part of another block, the opening price. Yeah. And from anywhere around here, expect the sell continuation. And not just because of this, we also have an inversion here. So you want to be mindful of all of these bearish reference points. I'm taking this off. I'm taking this off. I'm taking this off. We want to be mindful of these reference points. Okay, so we have an inversion here as well. So anywhere from this level here, price could also go up before coming back down, which is very, very, very permitted or permissible rather. Um, something I want to look. Okay, so let's just measure the range from that high to this low. Let's see what happens. Although we do not really have a range until this one starts to go off, so we take out this high. But let's just assume you have a range, a daily range yet. So above 50 is, yeah, is an ideal place to sell, above 50%. So price should, I mean, of course, price should take out this internal high here. Most definitely. You don't want to sell at all if this high here is not being taken out. You don't want to sell, you don't want to sell. Let's just take this one out. Boom. So this is an internal range liquidity here. So going into the week, I expect price to trade back into this daily range, right? Find its way back into this daily range. And possibly from, this bearish order block, they could start to sell. And if you also check, let me go back to daily where I marked out the consecutive. I'm taking out my time because this is very essential. Okay, every other thing is basic, right? Finding an entry is the easiest thing in the market. First is to understand where price is likely gravitate towards. Okay, finding an entry is very easy, very, very easy. And I also shared a video on how I find my entries, right? During long queues. I think I'm also going to share a video. I'm also going to share a video for New York queues, yeah, for New York traders. So yeah, I marked down that I saw that low rather to see if, oh my God, this is so sweet. Now see how that overlaps with this H4 order block, right? 1, 2, down close candles. You can decide to mark out the low, but the most sensitive part of it is that, right, the opening price. So, and of course, this entire range here is your sell zone for daily. So you can still expect price, or you um you will not find it an invalidation if price trades a little bit above it before coming back down. So from anywhere, not anywhere above here, but I like to see price go from, you know, this low, go to take out this internal high, right, and trade into this zone, then we expect the sales to happen as well. So remember, something very similar but opposite is what we're expecting on DXY. So it makes a lot of sense, right? When um you analyze these two assets separately, but you're getting something different but opposite. So it's like something you're getting similar but opposite analysis. Sorry, my bad. So you analyze them separately, but you're getting something very similar but opposite. Yeah, I mean, to your analysis is on point. You're aligning, you're in alignment with what with the market based on your analysis. All right. So if you bought from this low, I don't know the confirmation you saw, but yeah, I feel like we have a reason for buying in as much as I would not support buys in this market, but you have a reason because price will likely want to come for this internal high here, yeah, before pushing down. So we have this whole swing, blah blah. Let's go to GBPUSD and see what we got. Boom. This was the one I took, so I'm just going to take out this one. I explained every single idea behind this trade. I had a session with my free community subscribers, and I also shared a short read on how I took this at London Cleveland. So I just want to check out the video to see my my thought process, or to listen to my thought process then during the trade, or before, during, and after. So on the weekly time frame, remember I said I was expecting price to gravitate towards this clean lows, and apparently it happened. I think it happened on Thursday. Yeah. So that's all you want to see. Price would target lows, clean highs, and every single thing becomes a tape. You will become extra patient and, more logical with your setups. Yeah. The moment you're able to spot, number one, where price has gone, right? Number two, where price is, and number three, where price likely gravitate towards, right? To spot for liquidity. Price is constantly looking for where to drive people away from the market, like to take out their stops and go the opposite direction. So your duty as a trader who wants to trade institutionally is to identify those zones and position yourself, yeah, either to trade to take out the high or low, or to trade after the high or low has been taken out. So either of these basically is what you want to do. All right. So the weekly time frame low has been taken out. I don't want to bug you with the information of how that happened, but apparently I explained this also on Sunday last week. I dropped the video there. There is right here in my channel. So you might just want to check it out. The first episode. So going into the week, right, we have taken our major sell stops down here. Okay, so I don't just expect price to keep on selling and selling. Once you take out sell stops like this, price would likely retrace, right? It would go back to revisit some of the engineered internal highs, right? Are we that it engineered while on its way to deliver what this price action. So we have some internal eyes on your hourly time frame. So drop down to a lower time frames to see all of those stuff, you know, very soon. But what am I looking at? Or what am I looking out for going to from the monthly time frame? Yeah, I think we're still bearish, right? I think we're still bearish. No, I think we are bullish overall, right? But we are within an um internal range here. We are within this fair value gap. So whatever happens within this fair value gap here will determine if you want to continue to buy. To take out in all of these eyes. We have this equal eyes here. I think I marked out this one, this eyes here a long time ago, but I had to remove the lines when I cleared my charts. Yeah. Most of the time I clear my charts for fresh take. Yeah, and I think we also have some we have some internal eyes around here too. So overall, we're bullish on the monthly, but we need to calm down before going up. For us to resume our bullish bias on the week on the monthly time frame, we need price to close above these two candles. Right, we have like a bullish candle above these two candles, then I've resumed our bias, and price is likely going to come for this high. But until that, we just want to keep selling and sell until we change bias. Yeah, based on whatever market gives. Currently, same expectations. Yeah, same expectation on this with relation to what I'm expecting on Euro USD. What I'm expecting price to trade back into the range and possibly continue to sell. So yeah, this low here was taken on I think Thursday, like I said. So the low was taken on Thursday and came back down on Friday. Boom. So let's see. So where are we currently? We are within a zone where price has taken out liquidity. We have a draw on liquidity. We have imbalance right here. We have this here. So I want to watch out for what price will do here. So if price continues to stall around here and engineers more lows and goes back down, then I want to sell from anywhere around here, right? And we also have one up here. We also have one up here. Boom. We also have one up there, right? And I like to also point out that we have something very clean and major around here, which is this, right? So these are what other block, but looks like a rejection block. I say rejection block, a mitigation block. Yeah, a mitigation block is most more like a breaker, but it feels to go or create a higher high. Like this high here did not go above this. So this is swing high, all right? So we mark out all of the consecutive two up close candles and up close candles before you sell that took out the low close below it. So this is a mitigation block. So I don't know if that's going to happen there. I don't know if price will be willing to go as far as retracing back in here, but this is a zone that I feel like is very much valid. If DXY is willing to pull back down more, then I see no reason why we should also pull up that far on this. And if we do not, it's fine. We also have other reference points apart from that. So I'm just basically throwing out my traps to see where we could possibly catch the moves, right? We have one here. We could trade off from that zone. Let's see H4. Yeah. We could trade off from the zone. Yeah. Yeah. Nothing bad in that. All right. But we want to be sure that price wants to go up and DXY should come to our rescue with that. Nothing really clean here on areas because I think price looks more sloppy here. We don't really have clean internal eyes around here. We don't have really typical eyes and all of that. But yeah, price would always form structures for you to walk around. So walk around with fear. You don't want to just bug yourself with unnecessary information or expectations. Just wait for Monday to print its price action and position yourself on Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday as well. Yeah, so AUD USD should be one that I would like to see. To monitor closely this week. Remember, okay, for those that joined my first session on I think Thursday, yeah, when I was sharing how I came about the whole setup and all that. I mentioned that I was expecting price to close below a certain low. So price did not close below the zone. Okay. Permit me, I already have some lines highlighted, but this is my thinking, um my thinking system on this particular asset on weekly time frame. Price pushed this high, pause this high, gave a change in order flow around here, came back down. So change instead of delivery around here, going back up, blah blah blah. Yeah, and also gave this one here and failed to close inside the range. What does that tell you? Simple. So that is a very strong rejection and a willingness to push up. Okay, did not close above this one here. Did not close above the other block. This is an other block. Did not do that. I believe I'm making a lot of sense anyway. So, so the fact that price has taken out this internal sorry, this external ranges, right? And we have an external low here. So this could be our next target. But before this, I think I like to see price take out this first. Okay. And from what I'm seeing, you could possibly see that happen this coming week. Maybe not this coming week, but in the coming days. Perhaps this month, the month of November. There's nothing much to see other than what I just pointed out. We have this. Yeah. But I like to see price really, really close below this one here anyway. On this weekend time frame. But let's just see what happens on Monday, Tuesday. Um, boom. So price took out this internal high, blah blah blah. Yada yada yada. Yeah, so successfully closed below this low. I mentioned that I was expecting price to close below what this particular low here, this other block, this bullish candle before you buy that took out this high. I mentioned that that is your other block. This did not convincingly close below, but I think this one eventually did. Yeah. One more thing, I'm expecting price to also take off from here. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see price to continue to reject of reason. I want to see price close below it and use it as an inversion, perhaps 50%, and we can sell. We can sell in peace. But for right now, for what I'm seeing now, I'm not too confident in what I'm saying. Price could still go up. All right. So what I'm expecting on this is, all right, is this we have an inversion here. And let me take this one off. We have an inversion here. Let me take this off as well. Remember, all those lines were from daily time frame, so you want to keep that in mind. We have an inversion here, an inversion. Let me use this tool. We have an inversion around here, which is actually a very sweet spot. Boom. And I'll show you something else that I'm seeing around here. You have an inversion here. See the inversion. Oh, sorry, this. We have an inversion. All right, remember what I mentioned about an inversion. There are certain reference points that you want to pay more attention to. The quadrant levels, we have 25%, we have 50%, we have 75%. If it goes above 25% and 50, you can expect to 75. With the quadrant level, one quadrant level here almost aligned or very, very close to one of the major quadrant levels, which is 75%, as you can see. And this is your other block, right? Bearish order block at premium. I'm taking that off. Sorry. Let me just use this line here to highlight the quadrant zone so it doesn't look too noisy. I'm making 50%, yeah, of that. So see lows, clean lows engineer here. We have see these clean lows here. Price is coming for those lows. I'm telling you, price is coming for these clean lows. You see these clean lows here, all of these relatively equal lows. None of them went below this low. So these lows are all relatively equal. They're engineered for a reason. And the reason is because price wants to come and rush for them or rush to take him out at the end of the day. People are already buying from here and they have their stops down here. So stops down here, yeah. Looking like he wants to buy, which might buy momentarily, but eventually it's going to trap them out or spool them out, right? Going to spool them out, slice out the stops and possibly also go back up again then before coming back down. But these lows here are too clean to be ignored. Going into the week, I expect price to find its way back up, take out this internal high here, back into this range that I marked out on 4 hours. So yeah, that I marked out on 4 hours. Let me just use it pass through to this is an internal range liquidity, obviously. Boom, 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 boom. So you wait for H4 change state of delivery around here. I explained all of those stuff in my other videos, so you might just want to check it out. Yeah, from here this is where I'll be expecting price to sell. And preferably, like I said, on the daily time frame, I like to see price close below this low. Then if it closes below this low, wait for it a real price of an inversion, then sell to target more lows because we are bearish. So if this fails to happen, then you don't want to sell. So it's a what's it called? A game of logic. All right. Logic is if this happens, then I'm going to do this. If this fails to happen, then I'm just going to sit on the side without fiddling my fingers. Yeah. I think we should have one more. GBP. Let me check USD provide. That's one of currency pairs that I also like. I think I also shared how I was expecting price to go and tag this highs too. If you remember, I mentioned that on daily time frame, the price, yeah, this was the low, the reference point that I marked down. I said price look at this low here, right? Completed the sell cycle, then started the buy cycle from here, which was the market maker buy model. And I mentioned how I was expecting price to go and target this high ultimately to complete the market maker buy model. Induce this high, for some days, right? People thought that, oh, this should be double tops, first top, second top, price started to sell, give an engulfing, probably morning star or evening star, forgotten what they call the stuff. And apparently, see what happened eventually, boom. So this was the reference point I marked out on the daily time frame. Just want to point that out. I think I marked out this zone too anyway, this um BC. But all of these down close counters before you buy that broke the structure. So this IAM was broken around here. I think Friday closed around here. Yeah, Friday closed around here. So closed above it obviously. So this one becomes the other block. Expect a reprice in back to this range and before the opposite. And because price also are other reference points inside that zone, which is this, we have an inversion around here too. As you can see, there's an inversion if you ever look at. Let me take this off. Can you see that? Can you see that? Clean. Can you see that? 25%. Remember what I told you about inversions? They respect certain levels, 25%, 50%, and 75. See where price came back. All right. So this is not some random system. It is a very precise system, right? And very algorithmic. See, 25%. That is willingness to push. And that's why I was not expecting price to even come back in here. Come to take out this low. Because ideally I would have expected price to come and take out this low and reprise this one here. But because I spotted the algorithmic price action there within that 25% zone. And of course, on narrowing down to H4, I also spotted the change instead of delivery. Yeah, I think around here too. So it was just all aligning. Yeah, the price was already willing to push to the upside. Got stopped out here. Actually, we I think on 1 hour trade this pair we got stopped out. Yeah, it was this inversion that I used to trade the pair, and somehow I think my buy was around there, my stops was I think down here. Okay, my buy was around here, my stops was down here, and price kicked us out and eventually pushed. Which is fine, but we made up the losses on other pairs. It's also fine. So going into the week, like I said, let's see. We're still bullish anyway, but I think price will give me more structure to work with. Yeah. Let's see monthly time frame. Yeah, monthly time frame. Yeah, this is last month's candle, right? You already closed. They close out on this gap here, which is an indication that we might just want to continue to buy, just like you're expecting more buys on DXY. Can you see how it closed out on this gap? I like that. I like that it closed out on that gap here. Yeah, on this CBA, I like that. So you could continue to push for more buys. We have a recent eye here, this eye here, and maybe this eye, never can tell. But yeah, looks bullish. Looks bullish. Let me just highlight the next eye that we could want to go for. We have the eye. Let's go to the time frame. This is like the most bigger. We have this most significant eyes here. I don't want to. Okay, let me just leave that, but that looks like previous ones. Let's just leave it there. We also have one here. So let's see. What do we have? What do we have? Remember, this is the zone that I marked that on the monthly time frame. So I'm retaining that for subsequent use. Okay. We have hidden base here. So let me just mark out this hidden base here. This hidden base here is like the only reference point I am seeing for possible price. Okay, this hidden base here. Boom. Meaning I'm expecting price to drop down here. Okay, and because it's also sitting somewhere around the 50% of that monthly time frame CB. All right, it makes a lot of sense. So all you need is just conferences, things that are aligned with your expectation, something like that. Yeah, on weekly. I don't even think. Let me take on this one. Oh, perfect. Can you see that? It also looks like a flip anyway. If you don't know what a flip is, I just want to check my. I don't know if I have made a video on that, but just check around and and find what it means. It's a very powerful concept, I must say. Okay, so of course, daily order block, we could come back down and push up from there while establishing, more buy side liquidity. Because currently, I think we have, relatively equal eyes already. We have these two eyes here that are relatively equal. Okay, that's a very nice draw on price, or it could serve as a very nice draw on price. So, going into the week, also want to expect price to come down, like we're expecting DXY to do. Same thing. And from there, find its way back up, continue its bullishness. Okay. Preferably, within, uh, no, within a discounted level, preferably. This should be the last one that I'll be analyzing. Yeah, before I round off. So preferably, yeah, somewhere around it, just somewhere below 50% should be fine for buy continuation. And like I said, I'm most likely going to sit on the side tomorrow morning, especially during the London session. I don't want to do anything during London session. Let's just see what happens as new Monday and pick it from there on Tuesday, Wednesday. So GBP is like, for me it's like, how do I put it now? I use it basically for intermarket analysis. All right. So keep keep close watch on GBPUSD, what GBPUSD would likely do, right? Because yeah, this pair is very correlated with GBPUSD in terms of GBP, movement. Okay, so if euro GBP is buying, it simply means that GBP is weak, right? So you want to be selling GBPUSD, all right? But there's what we call relative strength, which of course sometimes would make that variation to cause some kind of confusion, pun unintended. Okay, meaning euro is strong, GBP is strong. You don't know which one should sell, which one should you sell, which one should you buy. So that is where DXY also comes in. And when you're just confused, just leave, probably go to your daily time frame and see what is happening, right? So it's just to add more conferences. And if it's confusing, you just step aside. It's as easy as that. Okay, it'll be profitable for not taking any trade at all in that moment. Yeah, so we are still looking bullish here on this play. That's what I'm trying to establish. But we just took out this internal eye. Yeah, so we could also come back down a little bit, just sort of like we're expecting GBP to go up a little bit. But I see price going for all these eyes. At the end of the day, and we have relatively go eyes up here too. It makes a lot of sense. But I don't rate this pair because it's extremely slow. It's a terribly slow currency pair. Very, very slow. And I think it has a very rough price action. I don't like it, honestly speaking. Yeah. I think that'll be all for now. Yeah. We have nice um possibilities coming up this week, I believe so. And I am very much optimistic about what the week holds. Not too confident to underrate the potential of what the market can do to your mental health, but of course optimistic based on my thinking and trading system. My willingness to also discipline myself and be patient enough to wait for market to come to me. So I will be sending the content later in the week, the drop notification. Sorry, I'll be sharing the link there on my Telegram channel. So I just want to turn on post notifications to see so that you are part of those that will quickly watch. Yeah. And I think I'll also be dropping a message as well. Yeah, sometime during the week, I would let you guys know, however that comes up. So this is basically what I have. I think I've explained about four. Yeah, about four. I've been able to successfully explain four currency pairs that I'm expecting. Yeah, that I have certain expectations. Yeah, on going into the week. And I believe strongly that based on logic, this currency pair should play out. And if not, we always, we're not married to one idea. Okay, that is the good thing about doing what you're doing. So once market changes, then you can always flip your buyers and work alongside. So that'll be all for now. And if you have watched to this end, you are deserving of any success or every success that comes your way, because it really shows that you're dedicated to this craft. And I pray that indeed you find your way around it at the end of the day, because indeed this journey is not so easy. So that will be all for now. Whatever that comes, I'll let you know right there on Telegram. So if you enjoyed this session, I'd like you to subscribe right now. Like, this is not a trade anyway, but it's to encourage us as we grow the numbers, right? This is just one way to help grow the community, like, without having to spend or do anything. Right? That's the least you can do to help grow the numbers. When you enjoy free content from a space or a platform, the least you just want to do is help grow the numbers. If at least you cannot even share, try and subscribe. So I like you to go to where your subscribe session is right now and subscribe. And also ensure to turn on your posts notification so that you get notified anytime you drop new contents. New contents coming your way. Dedicated to being consistent, right, in the coming days and hopefully for the rest of the year. So that'll be that for now, and I hope to see you on the next one. Do enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a profitable week ahead. Thank you. God bless.